Hi, this is Trepacer. Welcome to my In Bed blog for the week beginning this is the 31st of May, last day of May in 2025. Hope you had a good week. Tomorrow's June, so this month May went pretty fast, all things considered. And I'm going to be going on vacation uh, on the end of July, actually beginning of July, 1 week, and then the end of July, the second week, the last week of July. Normally, like I said, I usually take like 2 weeks in the beginning of July, but since I'm going on family vacation, in the last week of vacation, I'm just going to take about a week in the beginning and July, then come back. I think to work on the 14th, and then I think I go on vacation on the uh, the week of the 28th. Yeah, because we're going to leave that Sunday. I think on the 27th at 5 a.m. to go to Virginia. Like I said, we rented a house. Uh, me and my sisters. Yeah, I think my other sister's going too. My older sister's going as well, and my brother is going, and my sisters, her daughters, and their friends and their kids. It's supposed to be 21 people, her husband and stuff, and we paying for, like I said, we're renting this house. Let's see, I think it has 6 bedrooms, I think. I forgot the thing. I have it on my phone, but anyway, I'm gonna vlog it anyway, so I'll um, and stuff. And I know they got 2 bedrooms out by the pool house, and they got a pool there. Of course, obviously they got a jacuzzi. It's a nice suburban place, and 2 nights we're gonna have a chef because we're gonna be there 5 nights: Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night, and then we're gonna leave on that Friday. I think around 10 o'clock. I think you got to check out by 10 in the morning on that Friday, I believe. Excuse me, that Friday. And I think it takes 6 hours driving to get there. So that's why we're going to leave at 5 o'clock. My sister said we're going to leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. They still got to work out the driving situation because I don't think maybe we'll do what we did when we went when my grandmother passed and we had to go down south for a week, and we rented these big, like I think it was like 8 passenger vans and 8 people passenger vans, and that's how we got that. And we drove, like, we left at midnight. I remember that we left at midnight. I had my iPad with me. I slept through it. I don't even remember them stopping. I think they might have stopped because my sister and my cousin drove us down there because my cousin has been down a lot. So and she was raised down there. So my sister drove part of the way, and then my cousin drove the rest of the way. And I don't remember stopping once. I think I slept through the night because I don't remember, because I remember we got in the van. I had my iPad. I was listening, watching videos and stuff, and I think I just fell. And I think I fell asleep. I think we had to stop. I think we stopped once. I just don't remember it. And you probably, had to use the bathroom and stuff. And then we stopped once, and then I think we continued on. But anyway, this trip's supposed to take 6 hours, so we're gonna leave at 5. So we should get there around 11, 12. And I know my sister said we're gonna go to Walmart. Drop our clothes off and stuff in the rooms and stuff. And then we're gonna go to Walmart and buy, because we're gonna have like I said, 2 nights of the chef is gonna cook for us, and then we'll probably have a pizza night and a pizza and taco night one of the nights. So that's 3 nights, and then we're gonna probably barbecue the other 2 nights. The first night that we're there on that Sunday, we're just gonna, after we come back from Walmart, well, because we'll have my brother-in-law is like the chef master. He cooks, the grill master, excuse me, so he'll grill us some hamburgers and all that stuff, and fish and all that stuff, chicken, goat, jerk chicken and all that stuff, and we'll eat that first night. And then I know that they're gonna be, Virginia is, Virginia Beach, so we'll go there probably. And they also have theme parks. I know my nieces were talking about going to a water park. I don't want to go to the water park. I'm too old for a water park, so I'm gonna go to I know they have a lot of national parks in Virginia too, so I'll probably go there a couple of national parks just to see how it is. See the that's why I'm gonna try to look and see. Actually, what I should do is look on YouTube, because I'm sure people have been there and filmed it. National parks for Virginia and all this, so that way I can have an idea of where to go to. And then of course I go to Virginia Beach because they have it's like a 3 mile stretch, I think, of of beach and stuff, and they got restaurants and gift shops and all that stuff. So you can do that, and I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, I wasn't planning on going on any vacation because I had my medical issue that I had to take care of, and then I want and my dental thing. I had to pay these medical bills, but I'm paying it over time and stuff. So, but I still, this trip is affordable, so I can afford it. So I'm going. Okay, and because I think originally I was going to plan to go to Vegas again, but this is, I think, better because I had a good time when we went, like in 2021 after my brother had passed. We went to Myrtle Beach for a weekend, and we had a good time there. And, after staying in the hotel and stuff, and eating out and all that stuff, and we had a good time. I liked it that time, Myrtle Beach. It was nice. So I'm looking forward to this because we got a house. This time we got a house, and my cousin lives in. I got a couple cousins that live in Virginia too as well. So I'm sure they're gonna come by, and hang out with us there for the barbecue because we have a cousin that he actually came down there when we were down in Myrtle Beach. So he came down there for that and came down for a couple of days. He came down for that and stuff. So I'm looking forward to this this trip and stuff. And I'll probably try to share a room with my brother. My brother who lives with my sister, probably share a room with him because I know my sister was talking about when you give the kids the bedrooms behind the pool house, but I'll take that because I'm not sharing because I know they got a bedroom that has, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they got like 6 beds in it, and they got a lot. They can let the young kids sleep in that bedroom, like it's a dorm or something. They can let them sleep in that. I'd rather be by the pool because I think the pool house I was looking at, the pool house has its own bath. It has its own bathroom and shower and stuff, and its own TV and stuff, and the 2 beds. So me and my brother can, he can sleep in one bed, I can sleep in the other bed, and we have our own TV and we got our own shower and all that stuff. And then we just have to go to the main house to eat. And I think mostly we're gonna go to the main house to eat breakfast and more, and then go about our day wherever when they decide, I guess, like where they want to go for the day, and go out for a couple of hours, eat out there, then come back to the house for either the taco night or the pizza night, or the barbecue, or for the chefs. So I'm looking forward to this trip. So anyway, oh yeah, I also went to the Met game last week with my brother last Saturday, and unfortunately, my brother, because he's been to Citi Field a lot of times, but unfortunately this time he drove the wrong way because he was having trouble loading the description. I don't know why he would even need to load it into the GPS on how to get to Citi Field because I met him at 34th Street. And let me tell you, this is how the story went. Initially, I was going to meet him at 4 o'clock because they were, there was Kodai Senga, the pitcher for the Mets. They were giving away his jersey, and they were playing the Dodgers. So of course it's going to be sold out. And I know once they open up their gates, because they're only giving away 15,000 jerseys, and it's, shit. I think Citi Field holds like 44,000 people, or 45, something like that. But so I knew I wanted to get there early. But again, I got there. I got downtown like 5 to, I think it was 5 to 4, and I called my brother and I told him I was there, and he said, "Okay, I'll be there in 5 minutes." And then a half hour later, he finally showed up. Okay, and then he drove. Then he tried to put the Citi Field address in the GPS, but that wasn't working. And then he drove uptown for I don't know what reason. He drove uptown instead of downtown. I said, "You're driving uptown because all you got to do is go through the Midtown Tunnel. It's simple. Go through the Midtown Tunnel to get out into Citi Field, then just follow. It's real simple." And eventually, we got there late. We got there like 5:55, something like that. And of course, everything was, all the jerseys were sold out because people, again, because it was they were playing the Dodgers. The games, I think the stadium opened up at 5:15 or might have been 5:30, but we got there late. So obviously they're only giving away 15,000 jerseys. So obviously we missed getting the jersey, and I was pissed. I'll be perfectly honest. I was mad because I wanted that jersey. Okay, Kodai Senga's jersey. That's why I wanted to go. They were giving away a replica. I think Nathan's was giving it away. Although I don't know why they don't give away more of them. I mean, come on. If it's at least give away half the stadium, okay? If you're having a giveaway and the stadium holds, let's say 45,000 people, or let's say 44,000, at least give away 22, at least half of it, okay? I realize some people will have their own jersey so they won't want it, or maybe some women won't want it, or Little kids won't. Obviously, they go in it, but at least give away half the. But anyway, but the only good thing that turned out was that when we were getting our seats, we looked down and there was a jersey down on the floor because we had seats 3 and 4, and there was a jersey in the packet right by the by like seat 1 when we went get to fit in our seats, and I told my brother, pass it to me, and I sat on it and I kept it. Okay, so thankfully I got a jersey. Okay, hold on, let me show you. I haven't opened it yet, but there it is, and it's an extra large, which is just my size because that's the size I would need, probably an extra large. So I'm glad I got it because I was pissed because I wanted. Again, it reminded me of that time that I went with my brother, who I normally go with, and then I tried to treat my other brother to go to Citi Field, and they were having Keith Hernandez. They were retiring his number before the game, and I wanted to go there to see the ceremony. But of course, my brother, who I told to meet me here at my house by 12:30, but again, I'm calling him and he's not showing up. And I think I waited till like 1:30, and I was pissed, and I just left, and I just told my stepfather, you know what, if he comes, tell him fuck F him, and I started walking towards the train. And as I'm walking toward the train, okay, there's a hill that on the block where I come out to go towards the train. I see him walking up the hill eating a pizza, okay, and he's acting all casual. I should have left him. It's what I should have did. I should have left him instead of staying around because I want to see. And I missed that ceremony with them. Now, obviously, I can watch that, Google it, in YouTube. But I wanted to see that in person. Keith Hernandez retiring his number. I wanted to see that. That was very important to me to see that, and I missed it because it was a 4 o'clock game. We got there late because waiting on my brother. And by the time we got there was like no parking. Okay, because it was a Saturday game. They were retiring Keith Hernandez's number for the game, so the people came out for that game, and it was a nice day. So obviously we were driving around, no parking, until finally a police officer had pity on the people that was just driving around looking for parking, and he told us that we could park on the island. There was like an island, how you have an island in the middle of 2 streets where have grass and all that stuff. He said people can park on that island. Okay, y'all can park there. Okay, which he didn't have to do, but he did that kindness of his heart. So I always appreciated that police officer doing that. And so we had parked because my brother, what he was going to do, that was driving, he was just going to park. He was just going to let us out and let us go in, and then he was just going to go home and watch the game on TV. And me and my brother was going to go. And I was steaming. I'll be perfectly honest, because it was me in the front seat. My brother was driving, and my brother that was late eating the pizza in the back, and I was just steaming mad because of him, because I waited on him, and I shouldn't have waited on him, and I will never do that again, because when I told him to meet me at my apartment at 12:30, okay, I told him, and he didn't do it, and I like an idiot, I stood here waiting for him, and he waited, and he didn't come, and I swear to God, I should have left at 12:30 like I wanted to, okay, and just chalk up his ticket to him being late and say screw him, but I did it anyway. And then, like I said, we got in to see the game, and like I said, and he bought me one of these Keith Hernandez's back. I guess he, maybe out of guilt, he bought that for me because I guess they were selling Keith Hernandez's bat. I think I have it here. Hold on, let me show you real quick. Okay, here it is. Keith Hernandez Day, July 9th, 2022. See, there it is. My brother bought that for me. He bought this bat for me, which he didn't have to do. But I was still pissed at him, but he didn't have to do it. He bought me this. And like I said, eventually I got over it. But, he bought me this bat, this Louisville Slugger with Keith Hernandez, for July, 2022. So he bought that for me. So I appreciate that. Like I said, I was mad at the moment. I have to be perfectly honest. I was completely steaming mad at the moment. But he bought that for me, and I kind of let it go. And I know my sister, she felt a certain kind of way. Said, "Why are you mad about it?" I said, "Why am I mad about it?" Okay. let me tell you, okay, if I tell somebody I bought them the ticket, I didn't ask him for money. I wanted him to include, because it's usually me and my brother that lives in Jersey. We always go to the Met games. And my other brother who lives with my sister, he doesn't go to the games. But I said, let me include him, okay? And let me buy him a ticket so he can go with us and enjoy it. I wasn't going to charge him for the ticket. I want to, this is just my gift saying, come on, because he's my brother. I want to let you enjoy the experience with, with me and my other brother. That's why I did it. I did that out of the kindness of my heart. That's why I did it. And for him to not show up on time when I kept repeatedly telling him to show up on time, because I knew that parking situation, especially for those 4 o'clock games, and especially if it's a popular game that people want to go to, because it was Keith Hernandez's retirement number. So you knew that people was going to get there early and they was going to park, and that's what made me really mad, because it wasn't the fact that he showed up late. Well, it is that fact, because he knew, because I stressed to him, because me and my brother been there before. We know that it gets crowded there. Okay, it gets crowded when it's a popular game. Like we went to this Dodger game, okay, but thankfully it was Memorial Day weekend and it was a sold out crowd. But we had parking inside Citi Field. Obviously, that's where we park. Pay the $40 and park inside there. So, but we got there late, and that was a problem. We got there late. That was the issue I had with him showing up late. If he would have called me and said, "Listen, Paul, I can't make it," okay, so if something came up or something, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would say, you know what, I have to eat it and just and move on, okay, and just and live without it and keep going. But the fact that he showed up late, and the fact that he walked up the hill when I was already mad, walking to the train an hour late, and he's walking up the hill like it's a casual date, eating a pizza, like time didn't mean anything. That's what made me mad beyond anything else. The casualness of him just walking up I see him walking up the hill, chewing, eating that pizza like like it's a casual thing. Like I wasn't waiting in my house for him to meet me. He promised that he was going to be there so we could leave on time to meet my brother, so we could get there in time to see the retirement thing of Keith Hernandez. That's what made me mad. The casual way, him eating the pizza. Or if he would have said to me, "Oh, if he would have just said, listen, Paul, I'm running late. I'm sorry, something happened. I can run late." Okay, you know what? You can live with it. But the fact that he was casually walking up the hill like it was nothing, eating a pizza, that's what made me mad. Okay, the total disrespect. That's what made me steaming mad. And we're sitting in that car driving around. My brother's driving around, circling Citi Field, and they're telling him, "Nope, there's no park here. Keep going, keep going." And he's driving around until the point where my brother was gonna just drop us off and go home, and then we'd have had to cut the train, after the game. That made me mad. But like I said, thankfully that cop had pity on everybody else and let us park by the island and stuff and get out and then get inside so we can watch the game. Okay, so I know I've told the story before, but I just when I was thinking about the baseball jersey thing, because that was insane too. Again, I don't know why my brother needs to put it in the GPS, because we've been to Citi Field numerous times. Okay, so all you got to do, because I usually meet him at 34th Street. All you got to do is get the Midtown Tunnel. Okay, drive down from where we usually meet by on 34th Street by Macy's, and then it's easy. Then you just drive to 36 and get through the Midtown Tunnel. Once you come out of Midtown Tunnel, you just follow the thing, and it will tell you how to get to Citi Field. It's not that hard. Okay, but for some reason, I don't know, he had stuff on his mind, but he drove uptown, and then we got to drive back downtown. Then you got to turn around. It was a mess, but thankfully, like I said, the Mets won that game, and I got my jersey, so things turned out to be okay for a while. Anyway, I tried to record my reaction to, I downloaded Inside Out 2 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I started to do it with my headphones on, the movie reaction, but like I said, I was tired, because last night I went to sleep like after 2 o'clock, and then I kind of tossed and turned, sneezing for a little bit, and I don't think I fell asleep till after 3 and stuff, and then I think I only slept like 3-4 hours, so I was tired, and I tried to, but for some reason when I put my headphones on and I'm sitting here, and Inside Out was only like an hour and 20-something minutes. But I think at the 50-minute mark, I just got tired, okay, and I just stopped. I stopped the recording because I could tell my eyes were going, and I just couldn't do it. So I said, you know what? Let me stop that. I stopped doing it, stopped recording, and then I decided, you know what? Let me do Sonic the Hedgehog 3. But this time, instead of using my headphones and watching the the movie on here, what I would do is use my webcam, record play the video, the movie, and record myself on my Logitech webcam, right? So that way, and then I would just put that video and my uh, Logitech video, and then the movie, and one of the Sheriff Filmora, and and put them together and record it, But obviously, because this movie is like an hour and 55 minutes, no, an hour about 40 something minutes, and it tells you one Sheriff Filmora, because my computer has a lot of memory, but not that great a memory. My computer's not that strong, and I think maybe for Christmas I might buy myself a real good strong computer. I have two computers here. One is an older one, which I don't even really use that much anymore, and this one, which I bought I think a couple of years ago. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to buy, maybe for Christmas I'll do it for myself, and a Christmas present to myself. See if I can buy a really strong computer that has a bunch of memory, that's maybe one of those, not, I don't know if you say a gaming computer, but a really strong computer that has strong memory, and you can put a lot of programs on it. I know normally, like I said, the computer I bought there, I think I paid $3 something, or maybe 400 for it. If I can get a computer for like maybe like $500 or $600 that has a good memory and stuff in it, and I'll talk to my friend who's a bit more computer savvy than me and ask him. I just need a computer with good memory that I can put a good program on it, because when I put this in one Share Filmora and played it back, I record, and sync the movies and the movie and the video together, and the reaction video together. Again, it was playing. The sound is loud, and it tells you that because of my computer's not that strong, that there was going to be a lag. I put it at 1280 by 720 instead of, because normally I do my reaction videos and stuff to like 1920 by 1080. But I said let me do it 1280, but it still came out, the volume on the video on the movie actually came out kind of low, and then also it was lagging, where you can tell like the video was ahead of the sound, and so I can't do react. And like I said, I've been trying to research and how to, because I wanted to be one of those like do movie reactions, but I know what programs that people use, but I have to find someone that, what I'm gonna go on Reddit to find out from people what program that they actually use to record these video reactions, because obviously people can't make those videos on YouTube because for copyright reasons and stuff. So, but I'm gonna look on Reddit, and maybe somebody on Reddit will say this is the program I use, and these are the steps that I can do. You know how people have the circle themselves in a circle, and then you have the movie in the background, and then you see the video, and then you see the in a bigger circle, and then you see the movie. And I know there's a program that people use, like I know First Cut Pro and all that stuff, and DaVinci Resolve. I have that, and I also have one to share for more. And I just downloaded, I think, Canister, but I want to actually know what program to use and what steps to do, so that way I can actually write it down and then practice it, because I've been trying to do this. And so what I'm going to do is actually, since I watched those movies, I'm going to do a movie review of Sonic 3 and Inside Out 2, since I watched them in the midst of trying to record them, and then I was going to try to edit them, but it makes no sense to try to do it until I get a firm grasp on exactly how people do it. Okay, and it is frustrating in a way when you want to do something, and it's frustrating. That's what I just have to say. It's frustrating when you want to try to do something. You want to do movie reactions and stuff, and you want to do them like other YouTubers do them and stuff, and I just don't. I got to figure it out. But like I said, I'm gonna go on Reddit, because I know people on Reddit they'll tell you actually what program they use and what steps they do to get this, get the video in the circle, get the video faded out in the background, get it to play, and then I just want to and see if I can do that way. So, but I think I got to look at Reddit because, like I said, downloading these programs does me no good unless I know how to use them and how to actually edit it step by step to the way I want it to be. And like I said, people are not going to do it. They're not going to put that on YouTube because YouTube will say, they'll block that because that's copyright material that people are reacting to. So you can't do it that way. So I'm going to look on Reddit. That's a safer bet, I think, to do. So anyway, yeah, also, the dude I work with, he's on vacation. Well, not Mark is the guy I actually work with, but the guy, Gary, who works next door to us, who works there with us, he's gone on vacation this week because his daughter's graduating from college, so he's going to be off and help her celebrate that. So we got to cover for him. The only good thing is, like I said, his work is not what it used to be. Okay, his work, he gets jobs on a machine that come out. He basically gets files. He has to open them up and send them to the machine and print them out and then mail it out and all that stuff. But it's not as busy as it used to be because I remember when he first came over to Hoboken, and actually I remember when they sent us to New York to one. I forgot it was low and they were in the Manhattan. I forgot the name of the address of the place, but and I didn't actually get to meet Gary that time because Gary I think was out on vacation or something. Well, he had a bad back or something. I think he was out for that, so I didn't really. I would have met Gary then, but I didn't meet him until later when he came to Hoboken when they closed that building and they brought him to Hoboken. He worked in the mailroom, but his job is not as busy as it used to be because it used to be way busy. Like I said, they used to have 3 people working on that job. The person staying there overnight working on that job, and they had a wall thing where people had to basically sort the mail. They sort the mail and then mail it out and FedEx it out. But it's not as busy anymore like it used to be. It really is. It's really slowed down considerably, and I think eventually they're going to give that job up. Gary's job, they're going to give that up. But anyway, he's on vacation, so I got to cover for him. But the good thing, like I said, his job is not as busy as it used to be. So I'll just go over there in the morning, probably mid-afternoon, and then probably around 3:30 or 4, go over there and then close, probably shut the machine off at 4:30, like that. And like I said, it's not as busy as it used to be, so I got to cover for that while also doing my monthly CSR report, which is my monthly report that I have to give to my manager and stuff. So I basically compile a bunch of numbers and stuff. And I can usually do that in like 2 days and stuff. So, like I said, Mark is still there. But then Mark has gone on vacation. He's not on vacation. Mark has a colonoscopy scheduled for 2 weeks from Monday. So he has to, he has to fast. Then, have the colonoscopy, need a day to recover. And then I think that Thursday is the Juneteenth day. Okay, so we're off, and then we got to come back to work on that Friday. And Mark is going to be, so Mark is basically going to be off the whole week. So it's basically like he's on vacation, even though he's really not. I mean, he's out on sick time because he has to do, you have to fast on that Monday. You take the colonoscopy on Tuesday, okay, and then your day to recover. That's Wednesday, and then, like I said, Thursday we're off anyway for Juneteenth, and then we got to come back to work on that Friday, which is really sick and really stupid. And so he's going to be off then. So basically, I'm going to be there. Well, not by myself because I'll have Gary. Gary there will be there, and I can have Gary help me when it gets busy and stuff. So it is what it is. Okay, yeah, like I said, my vacation is coming in July. My 2 weeks. So I got that to look forward to. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. And this vlog is almost a half hour, which is way too long. Okay. Anyway, in the description box. Oh yeah. Also, I am still. You know what? I'm gonna look for this thing on Reddit. If I don't find it, this is on Reddit. I'm gonna move on to trying to do the live streams. Okay. I was trying to do these movie reactions and stuff, but I'm getting frustrated with it, and I think maybe the live stream thing will work out better. Okay, but I'll keep you updated and post it when I do it. But anyway, in the description box, I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Also, a link to my other channel, Probably Using Opinions. Please check that out as well. Also, I have a link down below to my Patreon. My Patreon's only $5. Tons of content on there. Tons of unedited content on there. I got over 200 videos on there. 5 different categories. You get 5-minute preview clips of all the content. Follow the link. It'll take you there. Also, I have a link down below to my merchandise store. As you can see, I'm wearing my spherical shirt right here. That's one of the designs on my t-shirts and hats, mugs, sweatshirts, hoodies, water bottles, teddy bears. Okay, for men, women, unisex. Follow link. It'll take you to the store. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Trepacer. Since so long, take care.